Hi, today I want to talk to you about the vintage Contax 2 camera. This is very popular because in my previous video I talked to you about they're very popular because there's a lot of Kiev camera that is copy of this Contax 2. You can see this is a early Kiev. They call it Kiev 2, I believe. It's early as in, let's see, this one is made in 1953, so the first two digit on the serial number is the year of manufacture, I believe. So personally, as a collector or as a user, if I had to pick up a Kiev camera, I would have picked an older one because it's closest assemble the original Contax. This Contax here I have is really a display. It's really a display piece now because the shutter, the ribbon's broken, so I can't really shoot with it anymore. The Kiev is still working, so you can see that this copies everything the Contax has. In side-to-side comparison, I do feel like certainly about, I would say, 80% of the parts, 90% of the parts on the Contax, it's a lot more finished, well polished, whereas on the Kiev it's a little bit rough. But there are 20% parts almost identical. I wouldn't be surprised they used the Zeiss parts when they moved the production assembly from Germany to Kiev. So that's why I like the early Kievs, because who knows, you might have a little bit more Zeiss in it than the Kiev and the Kiev parts. I think in probably at the end of the 50, I think probably the parts, the Contax parts probably run out. They start making their own parts, so you'll be able to see some of the they make some changes on the they will make some changes on the newer Kiev. This one is a newer Kiev. You can see that they changed the self timer. They also added a ISO reminder on the rewind dial. What else they do? The bottom here is all recessed. So recessed, really film rewind button. The recessed lock for the back cover, whereas the old one is pretty much copied from Contax. You can see you have a bezel around the lock. Also, this is kind of important. I think you can flip it over, and now you can make the camera standing. It's kind of like a little feet that preventing the camera front tip over. So I think it's very important. However, probably this add to the manufacturing cost. That's being removed. The newer newer Kiev, it's pretty much kind of copied from the newer Contax. This is a 2A model. You can see they're pretty similar. So although the front here, it still looks like the older Contax, but the bottom it looks like the newer Contax. So something that I don't know. I mean, whether it's an old Kiev or new Kiev, you want to pick one that works. That's where it's at. This Contax looks great, but doesn't work. The shutter is broken, so it has really no other value other than look pretty on the shelf. So you just have to make sure that, and of course, certainly try to check the shutter speed, making sure that that works as it should. This one in particular, this is a newer Kiev that has a broken shutter as well. So this one is really, other than just for the shelf display, they have no other purpose. It's pretty much done. But this 1953 Kiev still work great. Very amazed. I like the Cyrillic Kiev logo as well. Definitely, if you want something cool, give you that little Eastern Bloc looking. This is pretty cool. The leather looks like a real leather versus the older, the later Kiev. I think just fake leather. This feels like a real like sheepskin, but they use terrible glue for it. I really wish I can be able to, service this Contax and bring it back to life, and service this Kiev too. But it's very difficult to find. That's the thing with these cameras. It's very hard to find somebody here in the U.S. I can ship it to get it serviced. I heard you can ship it to Russia or some place in Ukraine that can do it, but I don't know. I hope I don't have to ship camera overseas. So if you know somebody who can service these cameras in the U.S., please leave me a comment. Let me know, and I can reach out just to see what they can do for me. But it's kind of feel like a waste when this camera is you can no longer use. So yeah, so go back to what I was trying to intend to say. When you want to pick up a Kiev, make sure it works. That's the thing. Make sure it works, everything checked out, and you're gonna have a ball with it. But that's regardless whether it's a newer one or an older one, it's if you want to use to take pictures, get one that works.